Successful interviews. Making the most of the interview. If you want to make an interview, you have to decide what the things which need to be considered are. In this session of successful interview, we are going to learn about the how we perform an interview, how we can make it more successful. This is the outline of this session. Read each topic in slides. Preparing for interviews, the interview experience, questions to expect and to ask, different types of interview, assessment centers, psychometric tests, interview resources. When we discuss about interview, it's simply understandable that interview is meeting of two people with some objective. In other words, it is just a question answers session or something else is required. It is a very systematic method by which a person enters deeply into the life of even a stranger and can bring out needed information and data for the research purpose. In interview, two parties named as interviewer and interviewee. Interviewer has an objective to select the right candidate for its organization, and interviewee has an objective to crack an interview. If you went for an exam without preparation, can you able to clear that? Yes, there is a doubtful situation. You may or may not. Similarly, it's happen in case of an interview. If you went for an interview without preparation, then it will be a doubtful situation for cracking it. So this slide gives you the true idea that you have to be prepared. First thing is to get full information about the job. What is the job description and specification? What a company is really looking for? What is the profile of the company? After getting that information, prepare some sample questions which you may ask in the interview. After getting the knowledge about the company and its job profile, next is to watch your body language. Body language refers to various forms of non-verbal communication, wherein a person may reveal clues as to some unspoken intention or feeling through their physical behavior. These behaviors include, but are not limited to, facial expressions, body posture, gestures, eye movement, touch and the use of space. So keep in mind to dress properly, be on time, have right body posture, smile and have proper eye contact. First impression is the last impression, so try to be the bang on in your first impression. There are these questions you must have to prepare before going for an interview. Read from this slide about you. Tell me about yourself. Bring me up to date with your CV. Why did you choose that particular degree or program? What experience have you had that this is relevant to this post? What would you consider your major achievements to date? Tell me about the job. What interests you about this job? What do you know about this organization? What other options are you considering? How do you see your career developing in the next 5 years? If you were the head of the department, what would be your priorities? The general knowledge. What do you think about the government's policy on college fees? What's your opinion of the MS bid for Yahoo? There are other type of questions which you may ask at the time of interview. These are: no experience. How are you likely to respond to a situation? The probing questions. How exactly did you deal with the situation? How did you know it worked? How did you feel about the outcome? Could you have handled it differently? In competency-based interviews, it is a style of interviewing often used to evaluate a candidate's competency, particularly when it is hard to select on the basis of technical merit. For example, for a particular graduate scheme or graduate job where relevant experience is less important or not required. Increasingly, companies are using competency based interviews as part of the selection process for experienced recruitment, as it can give valuable insights into an individual's preferred style of working and help predict behaviors in future situations. In this, candidate must perform as a star. In this, interviewer consider factors like communication skills, interpersonal skills, taking responsibility, problem solving, and teamwork. It is necessary to prepare yourself for contemporary based interview. In this, you have to first analyze what competency is required in this organization. According to that, prepare your answers, had right example to be state in the interview, and mention your work according to that competency, and try to be the smart perform. When we state that individual should be star perform, so star stands for S is describe the situation, T stands for explain the task oblique problem that arose, A stands for what action did you take, and R stands for what was the result of the outcome. What did you learn from this experience?